Hey, this is Doug Kenny. Years ago in elementary school, I was bullied by people. The bullying came down to physical bullying in my toddler years, and then it turned into being excluded from activities in the school as I got older. It really had a bad impact on me, and as I see suicide rates skyrocketing lately, with the common denominator being bullying, I just got to say that I think it's gotten to the point where I think the government needs to start taking a look into it, whether it's school, whether it's the workplace, whether it's families, etc. Any form of bullying is unacceptable, and a lot of it boils down to people dealing with their own struggles and taking it out on people that don't deserve it. It's really unfortunate, and it's got to stop. I mean, the world can be a great place, and I'm all about people. I love the world to death, but I'm sure getting tired of bullying causing so many unnecessary tragedies.
Well, my bullying started when I first went to my new school and somebody pushed me over, and it sort of, I was worried about going back and experience it again because it wasn't very nice. So yeah, it wasn't good. We have to put the word out about how it upsets people and how it affects people, and just put that message out, like how much it affects everybody that goes through it, and make people think twice about before they do something bad to somebody else.
Who's next? Douglas!
So yeah, I got bullied as a youngster when I first started going to school. I'm originally from Estes Park, Colorado, and I grew up during the time of the autism epidemic, when people started getting diagnosed with autism, and it was kind of ancient times because there wasn't a lot of knowledge of it. And so growing up in school was a struggle, and I got bullied physically during preschool and kindergarten. My personal bully was this visitor from Scotland named and what ended up happening was he was physical with me for 1 year. So the next year, I didn't want to have that experience again. And what I ended up deciding to do was taking it out on him, like sending a message to him in a way that didn't technically violate the rules. And what I did was, every time he tried to get physical with me at recess, I motioned my body and chased menacingly and chased him around the playground as if I were going to attack him. I wasn't actually going to, but I kind of thought that was the appropriate way to send a message that I didn't like it in a way that didn't technically violate the rules. And what ended up happening was we were warned about it afterwards. And so we went a year without getting into it with each other again, because he was moved to another part of the school and I was in another part. But we came face to face again during a basketball game a little over a year later. And he made a move on me during the game, which was seen by a lot of people in the district. It was a whole event. And he made a move on me that was kind of cheating, and it ended up pushing me to the ground. And at that point, I snapped, and the next thing I remember, he was on the ground with a bloody nose, with lacerations all over his body, and I was being led away by staff members and other students. And what ended up happening was he and I got suspended as a result. Obviously, we ended up getting suspended, and for some reason he moved away afterwards, although I don't remember why, but that's when the physical bullying kind of came to an end. And what ended up happening was I did experience bullying later on, but it was more in line. It wasn't physical. It was basically people excluding me from activities in school. And they did it probably not because of malice, but because of, ignorance to autism and people that are special needs. And I don't think they did it intentionally. I think they were just ignorant. Know what I mean? But anyway, it didn't make me feel good at all. It was really frustrating and irritating. And I don't condone how I reacted to my physical bullying. If I could do it over again, I wouldn't have done it. But it was a breaking point, if you know what I mean. And every human being has a breaking point. So yeah, that's all I can really say about it. If I had to say though, what I think needs to be done about bullying, I think really it's getting to the point where I think with suicide skyrocketing, I think the government needs to get involved, whether it's in your family, whether it's at school or workplace, and I think what Jerry has said in the past is spot on. I think it needs to be a crime. I think there needs to be fines or probation just to get the message across that it's wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm just tired of it causing unnecessary tragedies.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, so true.
Yeah. Yeah. Doug, were you able to share your experiences? I mean, I didn't talk to anybody, but not even my parents, about bullying. Did you share your experiences and what was going through with your mom and your parents and stuff?
I shared it with my parents. And at first I didn't share it with teachers because my bully was kind of known. His parents were known by people in the school. And so I think it was a situation where if I reported it, I would have been punished for it as well, just because there's two sides to each story. You know what I mean? Like they would have looked into it. Some half truths or half lies probably would have been told, and then I would have ended up getting in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah. And Doug, can you just quickly share what happened to you only, not the ones in the gym, but just a couple of days or a week ago when you were walking and you went into that garage, and what happened there?
What ended up happening was I was taking my dog for a walk in our neighborhood, and it's football season, as we all know in America, American football, by the way. But anyway, I saw a garage where there was this homemade bar where people were watching an NFL game. I thought it was pretty badass because I never have seen that before. So I went up to them and said, "Hey, I love this. You guys are rocking it." And it turns out that one of the people there was somebody in my former weight training class that I had some issues with. And even though it was many years since it happened, he did recognize who I was. And even though I was friendly, he kind of dismissed me with a really, it's a really inappropriate term and I'm not going to say it, but what ended up happening was someone else came out of the room, and when that person saw who I was, they were like, "Are you kidding me? Are you Doug Kenny from Relentless and Unstoppable?" And so he went up and started having a chat with me. And as you can expect, it's one of those things where it happened in front of the person, and so the person was like, "What's going on here?"
That's awesome, Doug. That's awesome, mate.
Yeah, the last laugh,
Good
They
deal.
probably went home and Googled you, like Relentless and Unstoppable.
There you go. Yeah. Take it, brother. Yeah, and I agree with you. The buck stops somewhere, and we had talked about this before regarding that, finding the parents. The teachers need to be involved. The student that is bullied needs to be involved. The student that is bullying needs to be involved. The parents, and if nothing, because the suicides, that needs to stop. But if you start finding the parents, You start saying you're fined $1,000. I'm telling you. And I had a conversation with a buddy of mine last night. He says, no. I don't think the parents need to be fined. And I said, listen, when you sit, you have to go through the whole everything and deal with everyone. If nothing's working, I guarantee you, if you go to the parents and say, listen, you will be fined if your son keeps bullying continuously, something's going to happen. I guarantee you, the parents will say, well, this shit's got to stop. Something has to change, because when kids are committing suicide, it's absolutely freaking ridiculous. And it just pisses me off that it should be a crime, because I guarantee you, if I were to go out on the street and bully someone, I'd be put in jail.
Yeah.
Bully kids normally have bully parents.
What's that?
Bully kids normally have bully parents.
Yeah. I mean, why do kids bully? Well, because
So
they're
when do you cut off the fining age? Because there's still some kids that don't live with their parents. Adults are bullied. We're going to stop bullying all across the board.
Yeah.
Did you report the bullying at all to anyone?
In England, you
Yeah.
don't do that. You don't do that. If you report it to the teachers beat you up.
And bullying should be a crime. But if you think about it, if you go to the parents and you find them and they start getting into trouble, because if an adult goes and bullies another person on the street, they will go to jail. But it shouldn't be an age thing.